Hey, thank you so much for joining my Instagram Live. Today is all things LinkedIn with respect to networking. This is if you have a small business, maybe you're a contractor, a freelancer, you have a side business, or you run a full-time business with employees. I do believe that LinkedIn is one of the most powerful apps. It might not have the reach that TikTok has right now, but I do believe that there's a lot of untapped opportunities for entrepreneurs on LinkedIn. A lot of the questions that I get from people are, should my company be on LinkedIn? I have a retail company, I'm a clothing designer, so on and so forth. And I always say yes, as long as you run some kind of a business and you have a product and service, LinkedIn is the place to be, especially to network with potential customers, clients, competitors, so on and so forth. So let's get straight into it. Networking with competitors on LinkedIn is really as easy as looking through the hashtags of your industry. So let's take, for example, you are in the real estate industry and maybe you want to niche down to your city, your country, or your province. Hi, thanks for joining. Feel free to leave questions if you have any. So on LinkedIn, if you run a business, I highly recommend that you take a look at the hashtags and follow hashtags based on your industry so you can start networking with companies that do the exact same thing that you do. And one of the reasons why you want to follow your competitors is to see if they have any events going on, free or paid events. Hi Dwight, thanks for joining. Where they'll invite you to represent your business on their platform, especially if the company has a lot of followers and more customers than you. LinkedIn is definitely the place to go to allow yourself to build relationships with people in your industry that might have more of a marketing budget. Maybe they have more reach as far as potential customers that you want to market your products and services to. So follow hashtags on LinkedIn based on your industry and start interacting with people. Before you send a connection request on LinkedIn, I highly recommend that you interact with a person's post first, and then that will give you an opportunity to eventually ask them if they can be a part of your network. Other ways that you can network on LinkedIn are looking through your connections and see if there are any first relationships or second value relationships, which shows when you look through your connections. And really just also looking at some of the companies and the people that your connections are liking, their posts, and checking to see on those people's pages if they relate to your business, if they can add value to your business. If you're not into podcasting or live streaming, I recommend that you start doing that. Maybe have your own show where you talk about things that matter to you as an individual or your business. So that way you can start inviting competitors or people that pretty much have a bigger audience than you and start networking with people as an entrepreneur on LinkedIn. Getting new customers on LinkedIn, there are a couple of ways that you could do it. You can create content and you can share it every day on LinkedIn. That can be in the form of a carousel, which is the slideshow. Slide photos with facts, statistics, and information. In your posts, you can also do videos. So that could be you interviewing someone in your industry, interviewing customers, interviewing competitors, and sharing those videos on LinkedIn. Just as a recommendation, when you do videos on LinkedIn, make sure that you add captions so that people with hearing disabilities, or if people are at work and they have their phone on silent, they can still read through the captions of your videos. Other ways to get customers on LinkedIn is to follow the hashtags that potential customers actually follow, and use those hashtags in all of your posts so that you can get discovered on the app. I feel like the LinkedIn style is changing a bit. I'm seeing a lot more videos, but people are editing their videos where they have really bright colors that are catching people's eyes on the For You page. Sorry, on the hi 24 code, how are you? And so on and so forth. So other than networking with people to get new customers on LinkedIn for your business, you should be sharing posts that educate people based on interesting facts about your industry, interesting facts about your products without asking for a sale. LinkedIn is a place for education, so you really want to be the source of information for whatever it is that you're selling. And that's how you actually attract customers on LinkedIn. And anybody who has any questions, feel free to leave them below. All things LinkedIn today with respect to getting new customers and networking. Now, if you don't have the time to create content and post it on LinkedIn, the other way that you can do that is really just by looking at your connections, taking a look at their content and leaving comments of value, something like maybe a sentence or two, something a little bit more than this is great, but explain why you think the post is great, explain why you like the post, and that way you can start piquing the interest of customers and companies that do the same thing that you do. And that way when you add them as a connection, it will be easier for them to accept the connection, because unlike Instagram, people can reject your connection on LinkedIn. So that's two of the best ways to get new customers and network. Now, public speaking opportunities, I didn't really start getting more opportunities for public speaking on LinkedIn until I started posting maybe twice a day. Last year I would post one in the morning time around 8 o'clock my time, and then I would post around 5 or 6 in the evening for people that check out LinkedIn late in the evening. And as a result of doing that for a year, that's when I started getting invitations to actually be on people's podcasts and their live streams and their online webinars, and even being invited to talk on webinars or just have a virtual trade show for marketing events, which is very, very exciting. So the beautiful thing about doing all of this too is there are LinkedIn groups, much like Facebook groups. And the beautiful thing about LinkedIn groups is sometimes you can get in groups of other business owners. I highly recommend that if you're looking for new customers, try to get into LinkedIn groups that don't have anything to do with what you do. So for example, if you sell carpets, try to stay away from LinkedIn groups of people that just sell carpets, and maybe just go into LinkedIn groups of entrepreneurs or mothers or executives. That way, when you're sharing tips and advice in the LinkedIn group, people in that group will see your content, see that you're adding value, and see that you're helping them become a better person, or you're sharing helpful tips and showing your skills, and then they would be more likely to approach you and ask you to do business with them. I think that's pretty much it for LinkedIn. People are treating LinkedIn these days much like they're treating Facebook. So you can kind of be casual on LinkedIn. You can show family photos. You can show yourself at a birthday dinner with a video blowing out candles on your birthday cake. And that's professional enough to put on LinkedIn. It's not what it used to be, so you don't necessarily always have to share that you got your diploma or that you are doing public speaking or something, but you can share personal moments and people will still appreciate seeing a personal side of you, much like every other social media app. The algorithm on LinkedIn, it is just as good as TikTok, but it's not as powerful as TikTok. I do know that on LinkedIn there are more users than people who are creating original, authentic content, which gives you an opportunity. If you have posts that you're sharing on Instagram, maybe you can change the captions and share it on LinkedIn. But remember, LinkedIn is more of an education app, so people really do like to go there to learn. And if you're regularly showing up every day teaching somebody something new, then you are networking. It is a way of networking, because your content is going to attract the people that like what you're sharing, and they'll either follow your page, they'll connect with you, or they might even send you a message asking if you want to be on the podcast, or if there's any way that they can buy your products and services, etc., etc. So I know I didn't say too much on LinkedIn. Make sure that your page is optimized with the keywords that will help you get discovered on LinkedIn. I don't know exactly what you do. Maybe you can let me know in the comments what you do for a living, but try to make sure that all of your business experiences or your work experiences are up to date. On your LinkedIn page, make sure that your introduction talks about what you can do for people versus your experience, because people will already see your experience in every job section. If you have samples or a portfolio, I do recommend that you add your portfolio links so that people could see your work. Add your phone number, add an email address that you don't use. Make sure that it's not something that, you know, you're having banking stuff go to, because obviously if somebody hacks your email, that won't be good. Hi Rudo, how are you? And yeah, so LinkedIn, make sure that your bio is up to date. Make sure that in your headline you're using keywords to get discovered by people who want to buy what you're offering. They just gave me access to LinkedIn stories and they took it away a couple of days later. So I think they were testing maybe to see if Canadians were going to use it. But if you have LinkedIn stories, make sure that you use those stories. You can show people what you're doing during your day at work or in business. You can share some of your Instagram videos. Remember, LinkedIn stories are only 15 seconds. So if you're on TikTok, and of course the videos are professional, make sure to add them on LinkedIn stories. What else can I sit here and say? Yeah, LinkedIn is a great app. Oh, I'm feeling good today, Rudo. It's Monday, and yeah, it's kind of cloudy outside right now, but glad to be here with each and every one of you. What else can I say about LinkedIn? Don't get hesitant or intimidated by LinkedIn. People truly are using it like Facebook right now. I see people sharing cat and dog videos and quotes. It's not what it used to be. It truly is a business app. There are investors on LinkedIn. There are executives on LinkedIn. There are customers looking to buy what you offer. Even if you sell cookies, they are there on LinkedIn. As long as you have a shipping section on your website, there's nothing wrong with creating, I would say focus on your personal account, because people usually don't take business accounts seriously unless it's a Fortune 500 company like Netflix or Google. But don't be afraid to post one post a day. It could be a 1-minute video of you talking about your day, how your quarantine is going. You can mix your personal posts with your business posts on LinkedIn, much like you do here. But if you are a professional person, maybe you're more conservative, I think LinkedIn is a really great place to be. I see everyone on LinkedIn. I see DJs, fashion stylists in New York City that have worked with Lenny Kravitz, and so on and so forth. I see rappers on LinkedIn now. I see some of the motivational speakers from the documentary The Secret on LinkedIn, and everybody's pretty much using it. And there's no requirements on what you can and cannot be on LinkedIn. Rito says, oh wow, good to know. Thought it was all professional postings there. Hey, Thinkmo. Yes, it's a mix of everything. I see a lot of interesting stuff on LinkedIn. I remember I was following a lady into fitness, and she kind of had a photo of her doing yoga in her yoga outfit. And at first I thought, oh wow, I wonder how people are going to react to this. She's wearing, you know, a tube top and some Speedo kind of pants, and people were promoting her work and giving her good feedback. I looked in the comments. I didn't see anybody you know, making fun of her or saying this is unprofessional. Not saying that you should wear a yoga outfit and put on LinkedIn, but I do see a lot of people kind of just treating it as Facebook now, and they're getting more personal. I do see a lot of people come and go on LinkedIn, so if you are worried about competition, don't worry about that. I saw a lot of marketers, a lot of salespeople the first part of the quarantine last year on LinkedIn, and then they must have got their jobs back, or maybe they got their business back up and running. So I see a lot of people stop posting, which gives people like myself and you, if you're into it, an opportunity to really shine on the app, attract new customers, get asked to be on webinars, get attracted by potential customers and networking opportunities, and really build your business. Hi, Ayo. So if you have any questions on LinkedIn, let me know. I'll just recap. I talked about networking on LinkedIn with your competitors, meaning following the hashtags. So Ayo, I know that you do hair, so you could always put in like hairstylist or hair salons, hair consultants. I'm sure there's something with hair on LinkedIn. If you look for those hashtags, Ayo, you can start following them, and you can start seeing people in your industry that do the same thing that you do. The same stuff that you post here on Instagram, Ayo, you can actually post on LinkedIn and get more reach and build a name for yourself and really build out a reputation for yourself on LinkedIn, because I don't see any people. I think I follow up to 3,500, maybe 4,000 people follow me on LinkedIn. but I don't see anybody really focusing on hair. So that's a great opportunity for you and anybody else. It doesn't matter if you're in technology, as long as you know how to add some personality on LinkedIn. Take some of your TikTok photos where your videos where maybe you're pointing to something, or you're doing a skit, maybe you're acting in the videos, or you're doing a challenge that's professional. I think you should be able to get away with it on LinkedIn. And so getting new customers, there are a couple of ways. I was saying posting content, educational content on LinkedIn. That could be tips to do hair, or tips that will help your potential customers find you, follow you, connect with you, and buy from you. You can also promote that you have other social media accounts, like promote that you have an Instagram account and put it in, put your link there to follow you on LinkedIn. Promote that you're on TikTok, promote you're on YouTube. Don't be afraid to let people know on LinkedIn that you have other channels, other accounts, other podcasts, or whatever it is that you're into. Promote all of your live streams on LinkedIn. Promote your webinars that you're doing. Promote any paid stuff like courses or tutorials. Don't be afraid to do that every once in a while. Promote, hey, you know, I sell wigs, or I sell this, or I sell that. I wouldn't recommend doing that in every post, because people will start to ignore your content, but just mix it up. You know, once a month, remind people, hey, I sell this, or this is the service that I offer, and then mix it in with education, because as I was mentioning before, people are truly on LinkedIn to learn something new, and they really are looking for something different. I think for me, based on what I see a lot of startup founders, I see a lot of career coaches, I see one fashion stylist that I follow, I see a lot of marketers and salespeople on LinkedIn, but I don't see a lot of people in fashion. I don't see a lot of people in hair. I don't see a lot of salons, and it just opens up the door for everybody to win on the app. I personally find my highest paid opportunities on LinkedIn. So if you're doing well on Instagram, I feel like you could most likely do better and make more money on LinkedIn without paying for ads. The advertisements on LinkedIn are a bit expensive, but it's expensive because executives and investors and buyers are spending a lot of time there. So people with big wallets are on LinkedIn, so it totally makes sense that the ads would be a bit expensive compared to Instagram or TikTok. And yeah, I think I summed it up. Unless anybody has any questions, you can let me know in the comments. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to get started on LinkedIn. But just make sure that that's a great opportunity. Yeah, it absolutely is. If you have maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day to just scroll through your timeline, leave some comments on people's posts. Sometimes I get people who don't need a marketer, and they'll send me a message and they'll say, I know this woman, she needs some writing services, or I know this man who's starting a business and they need help with social media. And so sometimes your connections, especially when they see that you're consistently showing up every day, they'll actually help you out. And they'll send you a DM and say, can I introduce you to my connection? They're looking for this, and you're the first person that came to mind because I see you on my timeline every day. So those are some of the best ways to get new customers on LinkedIn, network with your competitors, build a name for yourself. If you do decide to take a break from LinkedIn, let people know. One of the most frustrating things that I can say for myself is I see a person's content, I really love their content, and then they just disappear and they come back 6 months later. And what happens when people do that without you don't have to tell people why you're taking a break. You just say, I'm taking a break, some things are happening in my life, I'll be back soon. And that's a little bit more professional than just disappearing and coming back, because then what I notice when people disappear and come back, they don't have as much likes, they don't have as much views, they don't have as much people, because people mentally, they move on to the next person that shares the same advice or content as them. So try your best to be active and try to be personal. If you do have a LinkedIn Live feature, definitely go live on LinkedIn. It's one of the best ways to get discovered. And the way it works on LinkedIn is when you go live, it shows your video going live on the timeline. And it shows for all of the people that follow you and all of your connections to see that you're going live, so they can jump in your live stream. It's not like Instagram where you start getting these signals, oh, somebody's live. It literally shows on people's timeline that you're going live and that you can join in. And that's just a really great way to get your name out there too. So try to use all the features that you possibly can on the app. They're free. I mean, LinkedIn, I even see the LinkedIn team sharing inspirational posts, and they usually reply to everybody. So I think LinkedIn is really trying to attract more people. They know that most people think it's just for job seekers, which is totally not the truth. It's a place where people really do network, they get new customers, and they network with people across the globe. I can just say for myself on LinkedIn, I have people from everywhere. Rwanda, I have people from Sweden and Germany, New York City and Florida, the Caribbean, South Asia, East Asia. I think I have every nation in my LinkedIn connection. So it's such a great way to, even if you're not focusing on your business on LinkedIn, it's just a great way to virtually meet people from across the globe and build your network out. So I don't see any questions here, but I do want to thank you for your time. I hope this LinkedIn conversation was helpful. I'll be sharing this conversation tomorrow on my YouTube channel at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is I think 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll share a sample of this video tomorrow morning, like 3 minutes of it as well, so that you can check it out. And if maybe you don't want to share your question here, you can send me a direct message here and ask any questions that you have on LinkedIn for business. Well, thanks everybody for joining, and thanks for all of your support on my content. If you have any ideas on what you'd like to see next, something I haven't covered, maybe you're having a marketing problem, maybe you're experiencing a branding or a social media issue and you just can't seem to fix it, send me a message. I'll see if I can do like a 3-minute video on IGTV just to give some, help you out and see if you can take anything from the video. All right, everybody, I gotta get going. I have to make dinner, and I hope all of you stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.